finding your way into your comfortable seat, or if you prefer to start lying down, that would work as well. And taking a moment or whatever time you need to really settle in. Find where you can ground down and notice what's beneath you. And taking a moment to notice what's above you. Maybe the only thing you notice is empty space. Taking a moment to notice what's in front of you and behind you. Noticing what's to your left and to your right. And then beginning to turn that attention to the things around you that you might hear. Environmental sounds inside or outside. And personal sounds. Sound of your breath. Sound of any fidgeting you may be doing to get those last bits of wiggle out. And for a few breaths, let the breath be the forefront of your thoughts. Just observing, doing your best to withhold judgment. Taking time to let the breath begin to slow and deepen. Softening the muscles of the face, across the forehead, around the eyes. Releasing tension in the jaw, creating some space between the teeth. Lengthening the back of the neck to drop the chin slightly. Noticing if the shoulders are moving with the breath or if the shoulders are still. If the shoulders are moving, see if you can shift the breath so that the diaphragm is doing the work, not the chest muscles. Keeping those shoulders still. Might even need to move the hands to rest on the shoulders to remind them to stay down. Notice how breathing this supported breath feels different than the way you breathe when you're going about your everyday activities. And is there a time in your day when you can bring this supported breath consciously in? Brought the hands up, go ahead and release them down to the sides, letting the shoulders and elbows be heavy. And next time you're breathing in, sweep your arms out and up to a T. Exhale to bring the arms to reach straight in front of you. Bring the palms to touch. Inhale the hands to the heart center, fingers point up. And exhale as you arrive here. Taking a moment, maybe you set an intention for your practice today. Maybe you just observe the breath, staying with that diaphragm supported breathing throughout the practice. As the breath comes in, begin to reach the hands up towards whatever is overhead, noticing what it feels like to fill more space. As you exhale, reach out and down, sweeping the arms to the side. Circle the hands around to meet at the heart center once again. Inhale, reach all the way up, separating the hands as you reach higher. Exhale, begin to reach back a little bit as the arms circle down, coming to the sides and back around in front on the pause before you inhale again, reaching up. Exhale, press through the air as the arms lower down. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, take them out to a T, pausing here. Inhale, and exhale, lightly twist to your right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, lightly twist to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, tilt to your right like a teeter-totter, setting that right hand down, actively reaching away at the same angle with the left hand. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, tilt to the left. Set that left hand down, actively reach away with the right hand. Inhale up to the center. Make some small circles forward with the arms, following the breath. Switch to backward circles here, nice and small, keeping the arms straight, using the weight of the arms to help work out the shoulders, connect to movement and breath. And then as you inhale, reach both arms all the way up, lifting the shoulders, reach a little higher. Exhale, lower the shoulder blades down the back, widen the arms, keeping the arms up. Inhale, arms come to a T, and exhale, they lower down to the sides. Taking the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, turn the palms over as you exhale, press the palms towards the floor. Hands still interlaced, noticing the stretch on the top of the shoulders and in the neck. If you'd like a little more neck stretch, go ahead and lower one ear towards that shoulder, just to where you feel a stretch on the opposite side. It may not be very far here because the shoulders are being encouraged to stay down. Inhale up to the center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back up to the center. Exhale, look to that same side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale as you look to the other side. Inhale to the center. Unlace the hands. Sweep them up. Keep this inhale going nice and slow. Pausing at the top. As you exhale, reach the hands forward, setting them down on the floor in front of you, letting the back round over. Inhale, slide the hands in towards you as you sit up tall, stacking shoulders over the hips, exhaling here. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Follow the hands with the gaze, looking up. Exhale, reach forward, rounding over, setting the hands onto the floor. Inhale, sit up tall. Once again, shoulders come over the hips, arms come to the sides. Exhaling as you arrive. Inhale here, slide the hands forward as you exhale. Walk them as far away as you can, rounding the back. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Keep the torso low. Exhale here. Inhale, sit up tall. Let the arms come to the sides. Shoulders stack over the hips once again as you exhale. If you're sitting cross-legged, go ahead and uncross those legs. Travel over to hands and knees in a way that feels most comfortable to you. Spacing out the knees with enough room for a fist between so that the knees are truly under those hips. Give the fingers a nice stretch by spreading them wide, evenly dividing your weight as you begin to follow your breath. Move between cat and calf. Notice your breath pattern. We want to move towards inhaling in cow and exhaling in cat. But if the reverse is happening at the beginning here, that's okay. We use about 10 breaths as we move with our cat and cow today. Your number might vary. About at the halfway point here. Keep that scoop and arch going in your spine. Notice if your weight traveled back into your legs and see if you need to shift it forward a little more so it's evenly divided out again. One more round, one more breath. This time, as you finish arching all the way up into your cat, send the hips back towards the heels in a child's pose. Notice the breath as it moves through the back of your body. You feel the back of your rib cage lift as you breathe in. Step your hands in towards your knees on your next breath in, sitting back onto your heels. Let the hands move to the thighs. You join me in hero as we exhale. Inhale, reach the arms forward, straight in front of you, palms down, exhaling here. Inhale, unfold the body up into a tall kneel. Exhale here. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhaling here. Inhale, and as you exhale, take the arms out to a T. Inhale again. Exhale, sit back onto the heels. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the arms to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, unfold the body, reach high, tall kneel. Exhale, accordion fold, child's pose. Inhale, rise to hands and knees, tucking the toes under if you'd like. And exhale, step the hands forward, finding a happy puppy or a half down dog. Take the moment here to think about pulling belly button towards spine, externally rotating in those shoulders a bit to keep them down, even if that means you widen the hands a little wider than normal. Notice the length in your spine. Next time you're exhaling, step the hands under the shoulders, untuck the toes, and arch up into cat. Inhale into a neutral spine, including the neck. And as you exhale, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, pressing through that right heel. Stretching through the back of the leg, the calf. Beginning to open the front of the hip. As you settle into this stretch, notice if that right hip has creeped up, and let the front of that hip lower ever so slightly to keep yourself from twisting in the low spine. Staying with the breath, press through the heel a little bit more. Stay in that calf. And next, exhale, bend through that knee, set it down onto the mat. Inhale to tuck the toes under, and exhale, lift that left knee. Toes on the ground, pressing through the heel. Again, notice the front of that left hip. Is it in line with the front of the right hip? Lowering down, resisting the urge to twist. pressing through the heel to get more stretch. Notice the flow of your breath, the depth of those breaths, staying long in your spine. Next time you exhale, set that left knee down, arch it up into cat. And scoop it into cow on the breath in, looking up if that's accessible to your neck. Finding nice neutral spot on that breath out. Breathing in to shift the shoulders over the hands to a knees down plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Take the arms alongside the body. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, head and shoulders lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, head and shoulders lift. Exhale to lower. Feel free to stack the hands under the forehead or simply turn the head to one side. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale to lower. Inhale, legs lift. Exhale as they lower. Inhale, legs lift. Exhale to lower. One more. Inhale, legs lift and hold. Exhale here. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders. Hands either stay by the forehead or alongside the torso, wherever they've been. Breathing through this hold. One more breath. Pulling the hands under the shoulders or by the floating ribs. Lower the legs as you breathe out. Inhale, press the floor away, coming up into cobra. Exhale to tabletop, taking a hip circle or two if you like. Next breath cycle, step the right foot up between the hands, sinking into the low lunge. Hands can stay framing the foot. You can bring the torso upright, shifting the weight back slightly. Or the arms can come up overhead or reach out in front. Any variation or anywhere in between is fine. Find what works for you, what your body is ready for this morning. Know you can change at any point. I'm going to stay here for a good 10 breaths. We're nearly halfway there already. Two more. Last breath. If the hands are up, go ahead and take them to the mat. Finishing this last breath. Straighten that right knee at the end of this exhale. Taking the right leg long. It's up to you whether that foot is pointed or flexed or somewhere in between. Make that position intentional. Bend enough through that right knee that you can bring the right leg back next to the left leg and bring the left leg forward, finding the low lunge on this side. Once again, find your spot with hands down. And then it's up to you whether those hands come to the thigh, lifting the torso, hands reach straight in front or up overhead, or any other variation that feels right to you. Once again, 10 breaths here for about 3 breaths in. A little over halfway there. So enter your last breath. If the hands are up, go ahead and return the hands to the mat. Finishing out here, and at the bottom of that exhale, straighten out the left leg. Picking the foot position that works for you. Make it an intentional choice. One more breath where you are. And then bend into that left knee just enough that you can bring the leg back. Walk the hands forward until you find tabletop. Inhaling here so that as you breathe out, you can tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Pull out your feet. Engage that core by pulling belly button towards the spine. Next time you inhale, use that inhale to travel to the top of your mat. Exhaling into ragdoll or forward fold. On your inhale, hands come to the legs, lift up about halfway. Exhale to sit back into chair. Inhale, sweep the arms forward as you unbend the knees, straightening the legs, reach high, upward hands pose. Exhale, widen the arms slightly till you feel the shoulder blades drop away from the ears. Breathing here. Finding that place where you feel balanced. Bend the elbows to bring the hands to touch, and on your exhale, lower the hands to the heart center, equal standing pose. Check in with the feet. Note that you're evenly divided in your weight. Not too forward, not too back. Right in the middle, knees are soft. And then as you breathe in, send your hands up overhead. As you breathe out, lean to the right. Feel free to bring that right arm down if you'd like a little support. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, lean to the left. Same thing, that left arm can come down if you need a little support. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, swan dive forward. Reach out, fold down, reach down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen through your spine. Take the length with you as you fold. When you reach your fold, bend your knees lightly. See if you can go a little further. And then straighten the knees. Stay here, hands on the mat, the backs of the legs, the fronts of the legs, whatever works. Let that head be loose, maybe even shaking it yes and no a bit. Next time you inhale, start to slide the hands up the legs so you can find that flat back. Exhale, sit back into chair. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Bring the palms to touch so that when you exhale, hands come to heart center. Staying here if you like, or using your next exhale, twist to your right, lowering that left elbow down. Inhale to the center. Stay low. Exhale to your right. Left, right elbow to left leg. Finding that place where you can maybe sink just a little lower in your chair. One more breath. Inhale to the center. Straighten those legs. Reach high. Resist the urge to lock the knees. And as you exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen out the spine. As you exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Walk the feet away. Find plank, knees down plank or forearm plank. Holding here for about 5 breaths. If legs are straight, remember push those heels away to help lengthen the front of the body. And one more breath. And lower those legs and hips to the mat. Send the chest forward, coming down onto the forearms and sphinx. As we breathe in Sphinx here for about 10-ish breaths, go ahead and check in with tops of the feet and the ankles. Notice if one ankle is tighter than another. It's usually the case. Around 4 more breaths. You finish your next breath cycle, use the inhale to bring the hands back by the ribs. The exhale to start to press the floor away, coming to tabletop once again. Taking a hip circle if you like it, spreading those fingers wide. And then inhale, reach that right arm straight out in front. As you exhale, drape it through to the left, setting the right shoulder onto the mat. Optional inhale to reach the left arm up, and an exhale to reach for the right side of the body behind you with that left arm. As you're breathing in, if you took that left arm around, bring it back in front of your face so that when you breathe out, you can press yourself up. Circle that right arm back, up, and forward, pausing here to extend the left leg behind you. Flexed or pointed foot is up to you. Make it an intentional choice. Breathing here in your sunbird pointer dog. About halfway there. If you teeter out, that's okay. Letting that hand down, then the leg, finishing this breath. Go ahead and press back, child's pose. Next time you breathe in, rise to tabletop. Pausing here to exhale, and then send that left arm forward on an inhale. Exhale, sweep it through the right side of the body, setting the left shoulder onto the mat, threading the needle. Option to inhale that right arm up and exhale it across the back body, reaching for the left side of the body. As you breathe in, take that right arm back around, placing it on the mat. Exhaling here, and then inhale, press up, circle the left arm back, up, forward on that exhale. Settling into the tripod first before you inhale and lift that right leg behind you. One side may be more wobbly than the other. Re-entering sunbird when you wobble out. Halfway there. Letting that left hand down on this last breath, lowering that right leg. Press back, child's pose. Option to drape the arms back towards the feet. Next breath in, walk those hands to in front of the knees, pressing the floor away, coming into lion pose, finding that scoop in the back. Inhale, step the hands up to the thighs, stack the shoulders over the hips, sitting back into hero. Option here to tuck those toes under if you'd like a foot stretch, or to let the hands travel back behind you, opening through the front of the body. Wherever you are, go ahead and make that torso come fully upright, unfolding the body, reaching high overhead. Keeping the arms raised, engage the core for stability and send the right leg out to the side. It's up to you whether it's foot down or externally rotated in that hip to turn the toes up. On your exhale, start to lean to the right. If you'd like to lower the right arm for support, that's fine. Think about drawing that left hip back, the left shoulder back, ensuring that you're leaning sideways rather than twisting. Inhale your way up, both arms come high. Exhale, pull that right leg in. Inhale, reach a little higher so that when you exhale, the left leg can go out to the side. Inhale here, exhale, lean to your left. Again, the left hand can come down to the leg for a little bit of support. Think drawing back with the front of the right hip and the right shoulder. Keeping yourself in that lateral movement and stretch. One more breath here. And then inhale your way up. Both arms high. Exhale, that leg comes in. Inhale, reach back a little bit. Small back bend. Exhale, accordion, fold yourself, child's pose. Take a moment, notice how this child's pose might feel different than your first today. And then when you're ready, let's slightly descend the feet to one side, the feet to the mat, and the legs around in front of you, coming into a staff pose. Reaching to move the flesh to the side so you can ground through the sits bones, straight legs, toes pointed to the sky. If you feel like you're tilted back a little, grab something to stick underneath your hips or roll your mat even under the hips. A nice quick fix to use that mat as a bit of a lift to keep the pelvis and and low spine aligned correctly here. Go ahead and use your hands to note if the knees are pointing straight up. Sometimes they end up turning out or in. Checking in there, letting the hands rest on the thighs. Once again, next inhale, hands can reach straight in front. They can come overhead. They can go out to a T. Something different. Halfway point, change your arm position. Doesn't really matter. Last breath, go ahead and lower those arms. Shrugging out the shoulders, maybe even shaking out the arms themselves, bouncing the knees a little bit before you slide the hips towards the heels, giving yourself space to bring the spine onto the ground. Take a moment, pull the knees in towards you if you'd like. Let the hands rest on the shins, let the shoulders become heavy. Be adjusted to the support of the mat here. You can widen the knees as wide as the hips if you'd like. You can come into happy baby. You can stay right here. You can even curl yourself into a ball. About 2 more breaths here. And coming back, knees together and to the chest. Straightening the knees, flexing through the feet. Let the arms drift down to the sides. Press through the heels. Two more breaths right here. As you finish this breath, bend the knees to right angle. Stacking knees over hips. Cross the right ankle onto the left thigh. Flexing through that foot, creating a figure 4 with the legs. Maybe you stay here. Maybe the hands reach through to clasp the back of the left leg. Staying with the breath. About 3 more breaths at your pace. And finishing that breath, go ahead and release the hands, uncross legs. Bring the hands to the knees. Let the heels drop closer to the backs of the legs. Maybe circle out the ankles for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, use that inhale to bring the legs back to those right angles, the hips, knees, and ankles, and then bring the left ankle onto the right thigh. Once again, reaching through if you'd like. Three more breaths. 2 or 3. And then releasing the hands, releasing the cross of the legs, pulling those knees in once again. Taking the arms out to a T. Bring the legs back to that tabletop position and then to the side and let them drift that way. Letting the spine twist, working towards stacking the hips. Keeping the shoulders down. Two or three more breaths. And then bring the legs back to the center and take them over to the other side. Another breath or two. And then gently bring the legs back to the center. Bring the hands to the shins or the back of the thighs and curl yourself into a ball. Send the legs long onto the mat. Sweep the arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Moving out the ankles as you inhale. Reach the arms up so you're reaching for the ceiling. And then let the arms drift down alongside the body. Maybe one hand rests on the abdomen to help follow the breath. Gently releasing the muscles of the face. And letting each part of the body feel the support of your mat beneath it. Remaining still in the final resting pose. It helps to count the breath. That's always an option. Letting the eyes close. Slowly, gently begin to become aware of the sounds around you. Noticing the feeling of your body in contact with your mat. Noticing the breath as you begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Gradually reintroducing movement into the body. Take your time. Gradually increase the size of those movements. Moving wrists and ankles, and eventually bending through elbows and knees. Moving on to one side before gradually bringing yourself to a seated posture where you can possibly cross the legs the opposite way you normally do. You sit up tall and stack shoulders over hips. Take a moment here to scan through the body, observing what you find, withholding judgment. The arms drift to the sides. When you're ready, use an inhale to reach out to the sides, lifting the arms up overhead. Bring the palms to touch. Do exhale, draw the hands to the heart center, opening the eyes if you had them closed. Take a moment here. Thank yourself for joining me in a practice this morning, for showing up, even if it was not an easy thing to roll out the mat today. I appreciate your showing up for class together today and dedicating that time to practice together. What's good in me sees and honors what's good in each of you. Namaste.